My name is Annelise Petzer and I am an attorney practicing as such at Schoeman Law Incorporated based in Cape Town, South Africa, where we proudly serve the legal needs of the entrepreneur. I'm often asked if there's such a thing as a restraining order like they have in the US. In short, the answer is yes, but here in South Africa we call them protection orders. Today, I will briefly be talking about protection orders and we'll be discussing what protection orders are, how one can apply for them, and how they are enforced. So first things first, what are protection orders? A protection order is a court order that is granted by a magistrate's court to protect a person referred to as a complainant against threats, harassment, and harm. The primary legislation to be considered is the Domestic Violence Act, which is Act number 116 of 1998. The Domestic Violence Act aims to protect victims against domestic violence. Further remedies are contained in the Protection from Harassment Act, which is Act number 17 of 2011. A person seeking a protection order can either apply in terms of the Domestic Violence Act or in terms of the Harassment Act. So let's take a closer look at the remedies provided for in these acts. Firstly, we'll look at the protection orders in terms of the Domestic Violence Act. A complainant may apply for a protection order in terms of the Domestic Violence Act when such person has been in a domestic relationship with the respondent and has been subjected to domestic violence. Domestic violence includes acts which cause or may cause harm to health, safety, or well-being of the complainant. Some examples include physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, verbal, or psychological abuse, economic abuse, intimidation, harassment, stalking, but to name a few. The Domestic Violence Act further provides the court with a wide discretionary power, which ranges from the power to impose certain conditions with a protection order, for example, seizing a dangerous weapon, or the court may even order emergency monetary relief. Secondly, protection orders in terms of the Harassment Act. A complainant applies for a protection order in terms of the Harassment Act when he or she has been subjected to harassment and there's no domestic relationship required to obtain this order. Harassment is defined as an act which causes harm or a belief that harm will be caused. This may include being sexually harassed, being followed, or being watched. So how to apply for a protection order? An application for a protection order can be made at a magistrate's court in the area where the complainant or the respondent lives or works or where the incident happened. The necessary application forms can then be obtained from a clerk of the court, and the application will be in the form of an affidavit which contains the following details. Firstly, details of the incident, the type of protection that is being applied for, so for example, that the respondent should stop abusing the complainant, and thirdly, the name of the police station where a breach of the protection order would most likely be reported to. Once it is established that the complainant has suffered abuse, the court will issue an interim protection order, and the court will then invite the respondent on a set return date to give the respondent the opportunity to defend the application before it is made a final order. So lastly, how can protection orders be enforced? If the court grants an interim or a final protection order, a warrant of arrest will also be issued and provided to the complainant. If the respondent breaches the terms and conditions of the protection order, the complainant must report the breach to the police and the respondent can then be arrested in terms of the warrant of arrest. So if you are of the view that a protection order is the best remedy for your situation, contact us at Schoeman Law for further assistance. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, share, and comment in the box below. I would love to hear of your experience and to get some of your inputs. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and newsletter, and for more information, go to www.schoemanlaw.co.za.